and welcome back for episode 8 here on the Dad Energy SMP. It's been a little while since the last episode. Life, got a little busy. I have kids starting back up sports and just, work and everything like that, getting busy, but we're back and wanted to start out here in the new shop that we built in the last episode. We have made a few diamonds so far from the shop, so that's been great. Looks like we might have a few more sales here as well. We sold some gold. Doesn't look like we got anything else yet, but made a few sales so far. I'm kind of keeping all the diamonds from the shop in this area here, just so I can kind of keep track of it, which I think it's kind of just a fun little thing to see how many diamonds we make in our shop. We do have our rockets out back. We've sold a few shulkers and a few individual rocket stacks, so it's been doing pretty good for us so far. Like I said, life has been a little bit busy, but when I have had time, I haven't really done a whole lot on the actual server recently. What I've been doing is working on the creative server that we have to continue working on the game. I've gotten a good chunk of the issues figured out with the redstone for kind of the main mechanics of the game. So that's been coming along pretty well, and I've even started on some of the building of kind of the level areas that we're going to have. So in today's episode, what I think I want to do, as I've been building up the redstone for the game, I think I mentioned this a little bit in the last episode, I've been using a lot of slime blocks, so I think I want to try and get our slime farm up and running in this episode. So let's head back over to the base and get that started. So right over here we have our double slime chunk where we're going to be building our slime farm, and as you can see, I've started laying out the bottom area there a little bit. We've got the magma blocks around the outside. I think we're going to go for a pretty simple design where we just have some layers coming up and then some golems in the walls to attract the slimes to jump off the edges and land down there on the slime blocks, and that's where we'll have our collection. Probably have some mine carts that go underneath there and collect the slime balls, and then probably do a little bit of a crafting setup to have them crafted up into slime blocks and set up, or maybe we'll send them up first and then craft them into slime blocks up here. Still haven't made any builds yet for these. I haven't really come up with a good idea of what I want to do. I have a slight idea in mind, but I haven't really put it into game or tried out any designs just yet. I want to have a building on this side for the slime farm where the slime will come up into, and then a building over here for the rockets and the rocket production, and kind of connect them, I think, with like a little raised bridge or something like that. And maybe we'll even take the road, or maybe a skinnier version of the road, out in between underneath that bridge. So just an idea of something I've been thinking about trying to get to eventually as we continue building, because there hasn't been a lot of building in the base just yet. But like I mentioned, I've been spending most of the time that I've had to play on the creative server working on the game that I really want to try to get built eventually. It might take a little while, but hopefully eventually we can get something built up over in the gaming area, and I think it'll be a lot of fun for people to play. So like I said, one of the main things we need is slime blocks, and well, we've had slime spawning down there a bunch, but no farm to collect anything. So we're going to get that started, and that'll be our main project. This may be a little bit of a shorter episode just because I haven't had a whole lot of time to record, and this is at least the main project that I want to get done today. And then after that, if we have some time, we'll see if there's something else we can try to get to, but at least we'll get our slime farm ready and get some slime blocks coming in. And there we go. We've got our slime farm up and running. I don't have the golems in along the sides just yet. I think I will end up doing that just to get the slimes to come off the platforms a little bit quicker. But even with no golems in the sides, the slimes do just eventually jump off the edge. So we are still getting slime balls coming through. And even just in the time it took to build that, plus, you know, about 10 minutes where I was watching it work, we've gotten quite a bit of slime coming through. So this should work pretty well, even better when I get the golems down there in the walls to attract the slimes off a little bit quicker. But as you can see, just like that, they jump right off the edge eventually, even without the golems there. So that'll just be a nice addition to speed up the farm a little bit, allow new slimes to spawn a little bit quicker. But yeah, again, like I said, it's working pretty well. We've got our slime coming in. Just set up a very temporary little crafter here to take the slime balls and craft them into slime blocks. So we got the slime blocks coming in. So that was a good project done. I definitely think that'll help us a lot in the game that we're trying to build. Which I still need to do a lot more work on the creative server, getting mostly the building done. There's multiple different kind of areas that I need to build, and they have different, feels to them, I guess. So they're kind of like, I think we talked a little bit about it in the last episode. They're going to be like different planets. So each planet's going to kind of have its own terrain, and so they're going to be different styles in each one. There is one thing that I wanted to test, though, which is for the game. I want to see if it's something that'll actually work. But to do that, I'm going to need to change my outfit for a minute. So let's do that quick. All right. So as you can see, we've got a bit of a new outfit on here. And now the next step is to remove our head. Unfortunately, as you can see, I do have 958 levels from using the gold farm to get quartz mostly. So we're going to lose those, but I'm not too worried since the gold farm works quite well and we should be able to get them back without too much trouble. But what we're going to do is, like I said, remove our head. So we're going to try to do that, and oh, that's a high arrow. And just like that, we should now have our head. Perfect. So what we're going to try to do, and again, I don't know if this is going to work. It may be too small, but what we're going to try to do with this is going to get a little bit of stuff here. Let's see, I need a dispenser and a lever. That should do it. And I might need some blocks to get up there. Let's go ahead and sleep real quick, and then we'll give this a try. Okay, so now what we're going to try to do is we're going to go over to our villagers here. And we're going to climb up. And what I want to do is I want to see... Let's say maybe it'll work from right there. Let's try it. If this will put this head on one of our villagers. That was what I was worried about. So it does work. The problem is that the player head's not quite big enough. So like as they turn, you can see they stick out and their nose sticks out of the middle here. So I don't know if that's going to work out the way I hoped it would. The other option that we have that we might do instead is I do believe that we have the ability to create custom models, I think, on this server. And so we may try to do it that way, using like pumpkins, like carved pumpkins or something. And that, I believe, would be a bigger model to, or at least we could make it a bigger model to where it actually covers the villager's full head. Because I want to do the same thing with zombies. I have a few different skins. Speaking of which, I need to change back out of this, looking a little strange here. But I have a few different skins that I've found that I want to use as part of the game, where we'll have some villagers and maybe some zombies even that have those kind of alien style heads. Like I mentioned before, we're looking at doing kind of different planets, and so I think that'll really kind of sell that vibe of having different planets with maybe some different, alien life forms on them, and they can have those custom heads that will give them just a little bit of variety, and I think it'd be pretty fun to have that. So I'll see what I can figure out with creating custom models. That's not something I've done a lot with before, but maybe I can try to even use the models from the skins, like the designs from some of the skins that I found, to help create some of the custom models, and use those again, like carved pumpkins or something like that. And maybe that'll work a little bit better, just because if worst comes to worst, we might be able to still just stick with this and have it look a little goofy. I think on the zombies it might look a little bit better because they don't have the big nose sticking out, so it might cover their head a little bit better. But especially on the villagers, it just doesn't look quite right. So hopefully I can figure out another way to do that. And if not, maybe we just go with this and they look a little bit goofy, and I think that's all right too. So that's what I wanted to try there. So let's clean this up here. Okay. Another thing that I may end up having to do, so we got our slime farm done. That's going to help a lot with the redstone components. Another thing that we might have to do is a way to get redstone. And of course, the main way right now in the current version of Minecraft is raid farms. The problem that I'm having in deciding if I want to do that is the next update is really nerfing raid farms, and so if I make that, I'll just have to, I guess I could make it now and run it a whole lot and try to get as much redstone as I can until the next update comes and potentially the server gets updated, because at that point then the raid farm's not going to work anymore, and we'll have to find a new way to get redstone. We do have somebody in the group base that built a witch farm, but if you're familiar with witch farms, you know that at this point they're not great. They're pretty slow. So the options are to build a raid farm and just try to use it a whole bunch, use the witch farm and see if I can just get enough from that, or maybe villager trading, or the other option of course is just mining for redstone. So we have some options, but I think the raid farm might be the best one, even though it's going to get nerfed and not work in the probably somewhat near future. I think for right now, just being able to have it and use it a bunch and get a ton of redstone right away, I could save that up, because this game does use quite a bit of redstone. So we're gonna need a lot more than what I have right now. And I do know that some of the other members in this base area have done a ton of mining, and they probably have a good bit of redstone, but I hate to just ask them for tons of redstone. I know they probably wouldn't mind. I know Dark Microtron, who we've seen multiple times in this series, we played games with him and stuff like that. He's got probably quite a bit of redstone. He does a lot of mining, so I could probably ask him for some help if I really needed it, but I think a raid farm might just be a good solution, even temporarily, to get that redstone that we're going to need. All right, here we are back in our normal skin again. Like I mentioned, a little bit of a shorter episode here today. I want to get back to working on the game. We did get our slime farm done down there, though, and did some testing for the game for those heads. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's going to work out quite the way I was hoping, but we'll figure something out. Worst case, they either wear the goofy heads or we just have regular villagers and zombies. But yeah, that's going to do it for me today. I want to get back to working on the game some more and hopefully trying to come up with some designs for the buildings that we want to put over there in our rocket shot or our rocket production and our new slime farm. So I'm going to get working on some of those and hopefully be back a little bit sooner this time. Try to get back on that weekly schedule. But for now, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, great night, great evening, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.